Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline here. Before we get started with the actual video, I just want to apologize in advance. Adam and I filmed this in January upon returning from our trip, and several months later now while editing, I've noticed that the audio from my mic was pretty poor. Despite Adam's audio sounding great, there is significant static when I am speaking. I did my best to reduce this in post, but honestly there's not too much I could do. If you want to completely skip this video, I understand. I considered not even posting this video because the audio quality is genuinely embarrassing. But I am moving forward with posting the video as it is a way for me to preserve my memories of this trip. Again, I apologize, and if you do watch the video, thank you for your patience. Otherwise, if you don't want to subject yourself to the static noises, I totally understand, and there's a lot of other content on the channel with much higher audio quality. Disney World trips are always full of magical memories, new experiences, and things to love. If you want to hear more about our highlights from our January 2023 quick trip down to Walt Disney World, stay tuned. Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline.
And Adam.
For Pixie PhD. Thanks so much for coming to the channel for the first time or coming back. If you aren't yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel. You can then ring the bell icon to receive notifications whenever we post new videos. And thanks to all the lovelies for liking the video and generally engaging. We really appreciate it. So you've already heard about our new experiences in our trip recap / review video, and we've talked about some of the not so magical moments that have happened, but let's get to the fun stuff. Our most magical moments, those highlights from the trip. These are in no particular order. Do you want to get us started?
Sure. So for me, it was probably the big steak at Toledo's. It was just awesome. Yeah, it was good. Didn't quite make my highlight list, but definitely up there. No regrets. Really happy with everything about it. Yeah, bone-in ribeye was very good. Would eat again.
Would eat again. Apparently we're going again.
Maybe, yeah. Probably.
Sticking in the food and drink theme for me, the sidecar at California Grill was delectable. Like one of the best sidecars I've ever had. I think it was like 25 bucks or something. A little ridiculous, but I mean, the quality was there, so I'm not going to complain too much.
Yeah, they really know how to make you fancy at Cali Grill.
It's so good for like a post-parks nightcap. Like just head up to California Grill, grab a seat at the bar if it's available, get you a really fancy sidecar, super happy.
Yeah, and then the view is always worth it too.
Agreed.
Out there on the balcony, it was awesome. And what was really fun is if you time it right, you'll be able to see the electric parade.
Oh yeah, the electrical water pageant.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact name. Sorry. And I also really, really enjoyed the Steakhouse 71 lounge, and we got their riff on a French 75 called the French 71, I think.
Yeah.
That was awesome, and I think that was only, $14 or $15. So your mileage varies, I think, with how much you spend, and it certainly wasn't like as high class of a drink as a sidecar or whatever, but it was really tasty. Bartenders are awesome. I love the vibe down there. I love how easy it seems like it is just to like pop in, grab a drink, probably grab some food. So yeah. Steakhouse 71 Lounge, a highlight for me, and I'm sure we'll be back.
Yeah, and then another highlight for me was from the art festival. Seeing all the chalk art, I thought was really cool.
I agree.
Because they got a lot. It was really funny. They said what it was, or like its inspiration, and yeah, it's just really cool to see. And haven't really seen art like that in a long time.
Yeah, and people are so talented, and it's really cool to just be able to appreciate that kind of work. And so definitely the chalk art by the individual artists, including there's like I think this has been a thing for the past few years. They have it like a 3D thing, which this year was Raya. So I was like so stoked about that. But that chalk art, and then I also just like really appreciated the art that was sprinkled throughout the pavilions. So
yeah, I
think in Italy there was like Luca around a fountain, and there was like a little splat from Strange World at the Land Pavilion, and yeah, they just have these like some of them are really small and super easy to miss, and I know that we missed some for sure, but it just adds like cute little character touches to the park that I love so much.
Yeah, and then I also really enjoyed that the character meet and greets were back.
Yes.
So that was definitely a highlight, being able to interact with some of our characters. For the first time, we were actually down in World Showcase where they were doing the trainings for the characters. So it was a great opportunity to go meet Chippendale.
Yeah, and beyond the trainings are really fun. We've never got to do that before. I've heard about it. Legendary. It was awesome. But also just like finally got to meet Merida again. Finally got to meet Mickey again, and he was in his 50th celebration outfit. Like, yay, characters! Definitely a highlight for me. perhaps a bit controversial, but I think Genie Plus at Magic Kingdom worked really well. It was smooth sailing for us. It helped us do a ton. I don't think we ever waited more than about 8 minutes in the lightning lane. It was definitely a lower crowd day. Like, there were times pretty much middle of the day where Peter Pan and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train were only like 60 minutes, which is in my brain a little unheard of these days. So I realized we benefited from low crowds. Like, Genie Plus was only $15 that day, but it worked. It worked well. It did what it was supposed to. And I know, you have to pay for it now, and FastPass used to be free, but it really helped make our park day smooth, and we were able to do everything we wanted.
Yeah, I mean, your time in the parks is so valuable on a Disney trip, that getting that ability to skip the line, it's $15, and you're avoiding probably, at least 2 hours of waiting in line, if not more. Yeah. It's like, and I mean, it's just something where if you want to get a lot done in a day, you really should do it. It's definitely, your time is more valuable than the $15 per person. At least I think.
Yeah, for us it is, and we budget for it, so that's part of it too. But it worked really well. It worked better than it worked out in Disneyland. Yeah. We didn't run into really any app snafus. And yeah, I just think it was an essential part of us having a super successful day. So a highlight for me.
Yeah, and then another highlight for me is kind of, more of the low light maybe for some other people, but it was very funny to me, is when we were in the park for early entry, and everyone runs the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and it was down for probably like an hour and a half after the early entry, so it wasn't up and running until like 10 a.m.
Somewhere between 9:30 and 10, Seven Dwarfs came online, and people had probably been waiting for early entry since 7:30, maybe even a little earlier. We got there shy of 8, I want to say, and we weren't at like the front of the pack, but we were pretty far in the front. So we went to Peter Pan and then met Merida and did Space Mountain all before Seven Dwarfs Mine Train came online. So yeah, I think some people were probably waiting for that, if you count the time they were waiting since early entry, for like 2+ hours.
Yeah, and listen, it was just, it sucks to be them, but I just, we were so productive, and these other people were not. And yeah, I just thought that was really funny.
Thumbs up for early entry for us.
Yeah.
It definitely is a big shift from the old model of early park hours, and I think overall we'll probably like it more, where every park has 30 minutes of early entry, so you don't have to like adjust your schedule, be like, oh no, early entry's at Animal Kingdom this day, so we need to change our plans. So yeah, I liked it a lot. And same with that Epcot early entry was great. I mean, we were even late, but the park was empty, so take advantage of that. And I know it's a change, and I know it's not the most popular change, but I am glad that there is any early entry, so I'll take it as a win. Another big highlight for me was the 50th anniversary celebration cavalcade. So every trip we have, there is a moment where I just start to tear up a little bit. And it's pretty much always in Magic Kingdom in the morning. If we're watching the welcome show, it's pretty much always during the welcome show. But we didn't watch the welcome show this morning. So it happened to me during the cavalcade, where I can't super explain it, but there's some like psychological thing that happens in my brain where it's just like such a wave of relief that like, oh, we're actually on vacation. We're actually here. Everything's going well. And then like such happiness to be at Walt Disney World and particularly Magic Kingdom. And so the 50th celebration cavalcade for me, you get to see everyone in their gear, Mickey and Minnie. For me, that was like my only chance to see Minnie in her 50th costume, because she wasn't doing the dual meet and greet. At some point during the 50th, you could meet Mickey and Minnie together, and then they took that away, which I was really bummed to find out about. But yeah, so it was just so nice. And it's very short. It's a tiny cavalcade, but I just loved it so much. Although I will say that the song that they used for that is not as catchy, in my opinion, as Come On Everybody Get Your Ears On. I do miss that jam. And you already heard a little bit about this in our trip recap, but Cosmic Rewind is definitely a highlight for me. It's the first time we got to go on it, and even though it wasn't as thrilling as I was hoping it would be, it was still a really awesome ride. Super fun, so smooth, very engaging. I think it's very rewritable. So that's a highlight.
Yeah, same here. Definitely a fun thrill ride by any stretch of the imagination for Disney, and it was really good. And yeah, would ride again. I'm sad that it's going to be probably under virtual queue for quite a while. but definitely something that if you haven't done it, go do it. It's a great coaster for sure.
And staying in Epcot, but shifting themes a little bit, food-wise, I really loved that short rib at the Germany Festival of the Arts booth. It was so good. It was so tender. It was so flavorful. It's like actual restaurant quality food, if you ask me, which I almost never say about the festival booths. And of all the like neat sort of entree dishes at the festival, it was not one of the more expensive ones. So like, wow, chef's kiss. Can I eat it again? No, because we already left. Maybe next time.
Yeah, and then just for me, what I really enjoyed the fried gnocchi short rib poutine. That was awesome.
Also, our trip was in January, and I have been to Florida in January before, but not for theme park stuff. This was the first time we've gone down to Walt Disney World in January, and the weather was awesome. It was still warm, and there were a few times, especially on our Epcot morning, where it was quite humid for a bit, but it dropped off, and like even being, high 70s, low 80s, when the humidity is not insufferable, it's just like so pleasant.
Yeah, it was great weather. We had some concerns about maybe some rain, but I think we got pretty lucky. I think it just happened like overnight mainly. But it was a really great weather. Really enjoyed escaping our winter weather and going down to the Sunshine State.
And even though it's not happily ever after, I really did enjoy Enchantment. I don't know if I can say I love it. I probably need to watch some playback on YouTube and dissect it a little more to figure out where it ranks for me. But I thought it was really beautiful, and they showed us a ton of characters, and I enjoyed the music, and I enjoyed the fireworks, and we had a great view spot of the castle. We didn't see any of the projections on Main Street, but that's fine. So yeah, I'm so glad that we went and were able to see that in person. I really don't think it would have been the same if we just watched it on YouTube. It was so nice. Like I did cry a little bit. So definitely a highlight.
Yeah, we definitely enjoyed the show, and it was definitely a great way to end a long magical day in the Magic Kingdom for sure.
Typically, when we travel to Walt Disney World, we buy Memory Maker for PhotoPass. That way we get all of our pictures from the whole trip. This was only 2 days in the parks, which is unusual for us. So we didn't buy Memory Maker because it's really expensive for 2 days. But we did pretty intentionally hunt down a lot of magic shots and PhotoPass opportunities on our Magic Kingdom day. And I had a really great experience at the PhotoPass studio inside of Sir Mickey's, where I finally got the Tinkerbell Fairy Wing PhotoPass picture, which I have literally been hunting down and asking PhotoPass cast members if they have that magic shot for 5 years, since our 2017 trip. And I finally got it, and my hair looks bad, but you can see how happy I am in the picture. I'm so pleased. And then I just kept asking that cast member, oh, do you happen to have the Mushu magic shot or the Elsa Snow magic shot? And she just kept saying yes. And so we just got everything they had, and they had these cute plushy props.
Yeah, for the kids and Jacqueline.
For the kids. I don't think we've ever gotten PhotoPass pictures done in Sir Mickey's before, and now I feel like I'm going to do it every trip because it was phenomenal.
Yeah, they really went above and beyond for Jacqueline, which was awesome.
Also, there was no line, and you can get a bunch of different magic shots in a row. So time-wise, super efficient. If you don't mind, you are just against a backdrop. You're obviously not getting castle pics or whatever, but heck yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was really, really cool.
And of course, a big highlight was getting to stay at the Waldorf Astoria Orlando. The whole experience was awesome. I do, though, often think about how much I liked that robe. I bet they sell them, and I don't want to know the price tag, but getting to wear it as part of our included rate for the stay was great.
Yeah, it definitely was quite luxurious, and it's not very often you get to stay in a 5-star accommodation.
Yeah,
and that's really what it was. From the bar. They had a guy playing all the hits on piano, which was a sneaky highlight for me for sure. Riffing between the Disney classics, the 80s, and all of that was really cool.
Those are the biggest highlights. A lot of magical moments there, a lot of great memories for sure, and some key things captured in PhotoPass magic shots now. But I do have one honorable mentions. I'll say that's the Beacons of Magic. It's kind of an honorable mention because I think the Epcot one, where they have all the lights on the ball now, is just chef's kiss amazing. And the Magic Kingdom one is not the same level, I think, of enticing. So we had seen the Epcot ball all lit up for the 50th and stuff when we went in February of 2022 for one day. So I think that was probably more of my core memory, was like seeing it for the first time. But the little short shows that they did this time were different and all really lovely. And I just cannot believe they managed to upgrade Spaceship Earth's exterior to that degree of perfection.
And another honorable mention for me in the food category.
Oh.
Okay, would probably be this green almond, was it pistachio sauce?
Oh, okay. You're talking about Dahlia Lounge.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
We went to Dahlia Lounge before we ate at Toledo, and we got a couple drinks, and then we also just got a snack of croquetas, and then it came with a dipping sauce that was like cilantro, cashew,
yeah,
jalapeno, and it was so freaking good.
Yeah, that alone was worth the croquette, just worth the dish.
Yeah, the croquetas themselves were like good. There was nothing wrong with them. It's, you know, fried goodness, but then the sauce was like it was like thick and beautiful, and I would just like spread it on bread and eat it. I did also just like dip my fork in it and eat it. It's one of those condiments where like if they jarred that and sold it, I would buy it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And while leaving is always sad, the biggest highlight of all, of course, is coming home to our doggo.
Yeah, she's nice.
She's great. So those were our big trip highlights. I think we packed in a lot of magical moments for such a short time down at the Walt Disney World Resort area. I'm stoked that, you know, for the most part, it was a really great trip.
I really enjoyed the trip. It was great to get down to Orlando and try some new things and make a lot of fun memories.
Yeah. If you've experienced any of our highlights, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And of course, if you have been to Walt Disney World, we would love to hear some of the best parts of your trips. It's always fun to reminisce about those great things. And if you want to chat outside of YouTube, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I am also at PixieDustPhD over there. Thanks again so much for coming along on this journey with us. May the rest of your day be magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.
Bye.